Today, I'm going to be sharing the exact funnel that many of my clients are using to earn over $100,000 per month on a consistent basis. And I'm not talking about some grossly inflated revenue number that gets totally eaten up by expenses. I'm talking profit, 100K per month in profit. So if you're selling a high ticket product, you need to start using this funnel immediately. Let's dive into how it works. Howdy and welcome to the Laptop Empire Show. My name is Mike. If this is your first time on the channel and you want to learn more about growing your online business, whether you're a creator or a freelancer, we've got you covered. We've done it all and we're sharing those strategies every week here on the channel. So make sure you subscribe, turn on that little bell. That way you never miss notifications for our new videos. Today, I'm going to share one of the most effective funnels that we've ever used at my digital marketing agency. It uses Facebook ads. It uses Messenger, takes some new technology that's out there in the market in 2019 and puts it all together to create a very simple call-based funnel for people that are trying to sell high-ticket products. So if you're a coach, a consultant, a course creator, and you've got a really high-ticket product, 2,000, 5,000, 10,000, something in that range, this is going to be perfect for you. It doesn't take a lot of ad spend to get it rolling either. One of my clients that just started implementing it, he came in, he was earning about $4,500 per month. Okay. And since he started using this funnel, his month after month numbers, he went from 4,500 to 12,000 to 21,000 to 33,000 in consecutive months. And he's only going up from there. We just doubled his ad spend and I'm expecting that he's going to be up there with our other clients earning 100K a month very soon. So I just wanted to lay the framework of how this funnel works. That's how we're going to start. I'm going to show you the old style webinar funnel that a lot of people still use to this day to generate leads for their coaching consulting courses and their high ticket products. And then I'm going to walk you through a funnel map of our new funnel. That way you understand how it works and how the pieces fit together before I walk you through Ads Manager and show you some of the results. So let's dive right into it. See you on the other side. All right, we're inside Lucidchart because I want to show you a couple of funnel maps so you can get an idea of like what the traditional high ticket funnel looks like and what the one we're using looks like. So you can see those differences and understand why this new one is so much more effective. So we're going to start here. This is what I call the old webinar funnel. And I say old, but most people are really still using this. There's a lot of people using this. All right. And you've probably seen it before. You've signed up for it. It's when you see that ad that's promoting a webinar, learning whatever skill, come see our presentation, our workshop, however it is that they want to, position it. And so you click the ad, you hit a landing page, you opt in with your email, and then you're delivered the webinar, the training. And it's like this hour-long training and they pitch you at the end, guaranteed. And they're trying to get you, if not to buy a product outright via sales page, they're usually trying to get you on a call. So after you get so far in the webinar, they present the offer. They tell you to book like a strategy session and then you schedule it and they talk to you on the phone. Hopefully you buy it, right? This is the traditional webinar funnel. Now, this also is going to rely on a lot of email and you're going to see we believe in the email follow-up too, but this probably isn't even accurate. I need to copy this real quick because what's happening is when you opt in, right, for the webinar, you're going to get email follow-ups reminding you to attend the webinar. So if it's a live webinar, it's going to be sending people emails reminding them to show up. If it's not a live webinar, if it's an evergreen webinar, which you've seen this a lot, right? I'm sure you've opted in and it's like 1:37 a.m. and it's like, congratulations, we're doing a live webinar in 5 minutes. It's really kind of shady. I mean, it works. The ever webinar thing works. I've done it before myself, but like I've always felt a little slimy about that. So anyway, and it's going to be reminding you to show up. Here's your link. Go here. Here's what you're going to learn. Like you really have this email sequence to get people to show up. And then once the webinar is over and that pitch has been made, you're just getting hit with emails, just trying to get people to schedule that call to purchase that product. And honestly, you might even have another sequence in there that's just reminding you to watch the replay if you miss the webinar. There's a lot of email that goes into this and it works, right? This has been around for years, but the issue that we're running into is that Facebook ads have increased in cost substantially in the last year. And so where webinar leads a few years ago used to be super cheap, like $3, $5. Now you're lucky if you're going to get a $10, for $10 for someone to sign up for the webinar, let alone watch it. I've run ads for webinars where we're talking, more expensive depending on the niche. I've seen people that are doing, $20 per lead. And that can still be profitable. They have a high ticket thing. If they're selling enough, if they're getting someone on a call for $100, $200, then that's probably going to be very profitable, but it's getting more expensive. The other issue that you run into with this funnel, besides the price, is that you're sending them to a landing page. So even if you've got a fantastic landing page and 50% of the people that land on it are opting in for the webinar, how many of those people, that 50%, well, I was going to say, how many of those people that opted in are actually watching? That's why we have all these reminders. But 50% of those people, they're closing the window, right? They were interested enough to click on the ad, but for whatever reason, they didn't opt in. They didn't go the rest of the way through. So you're losing all those opportunities. And then the reality is you're probably not getting a 50% conversion rate anyway. So you have a lot of missed opportunities. Somebody that's interested, but they just didn't want to sit through the webinar. They didn't want to get spammed with your emails, whatever it may be. So keeping those things in mind, the price and the amount of drop-off traffic that you have that you're paying for, keep those things in mind as we go into this new funnel. So let's go over and let's look at the new funnel. Okay. This is our coaching consulting funnel that we're using today. You can see that it looks a little bit different. And so what you see here, we have a Facebook ad and you see ManyChat, right? You're seeing opt-in here and you're seeing Messenger. Then you're seeing the same scheduler, application, thank you page, webinar, all this kind of stuff. So let me walk you through how this works. All right. This one is a little bit different. When somebody sees that Facebook ad and they click on it, we aren't going to send them to a landing page. Okay. We're not going to use a landing page at all. We're actually going to send them directly to Facebook Messenger. And when they click that ad and they go into Messenger, we're going to send them a message to be like, thank you for your interest in blah, blah, blah. What's your best email, right? And we're going to request the email right there inside of ManyChat, and they're going to opt in. Now, it's a little different than on the landing page, because if you click the landing page, they have to manually enter their email and submit it. But inside of ManyChat, it's going to actually pull their email from Facebook, so that when it says, enter your email below and we'll send you the video, there's actually going to be this pop-up bubble, and it's just going to be, their email, their best email, and they'll be able to just click that button. It's a one-tap opt-in, and then that's going to trigger another message to send them the webinar. But you can link this up. So whatever your email provider is, if you're using, ActiveCampaign, ConvertKit, Drip, Aweber, whatever it may be, whenever they click that button, all of that information is going to go into their email processor, and you're going to be able to start doing email follow-up. Okay. But there's something else really big that's happening here. Since you're sending them to ManyChat, since you're sending them into Messenger, when they click on that ad and they get into Messenger, they are subscribing to your Facebook Messenger for your business page, even if they don't opt in. So let's say the same scenario. Let's say you still only have a 50% opt-in and all else is the same. That still means 50% of your leads are then in ManyChat, and you can have conversations with them. So even if they didn't take that step to opt in, you can engage them in a conversation. You can ask them about their goals, whatever it may be. So if you're selling like a fitness product, you can ask them a little bit about their fitness goals. Like, are you trying to lose weight? You're trying to build muscle, blah, blah, blah. If you have some sort of business product, you can ask them a little bit about their business. What are they trying to achieve? What level is their business at? Are they just trying to, they're a solopreneur and they're just trying to get to a good, a nice income base and maybe bring on an assistant, their first VA or somebody to help them out? Or do they already have a team? They're already doing really well and they're trying to make that jump from 6 figures to 7 figures or whatever it may be. You can start these conversations and get people, you can ask them questions and you can get them on the call. So even if they don't go through the normal thing where they opt in, see the webinar, right? And then go here and schedule off the webinar, right? You can do the same thing. Even if they don't go through that, you have an opportunity. And that's true of both the people that watch the video and don't schedule, as well as the people that don't opt in at all. You're still having those conversations. So with this group, you can be like, hey, saw you watch the webinar. Do you have any questions, about it? And you can engage a conversation that way and find out why they didn't schedule and get them on the phone, recover that lead. If they didn't opt in at all, you can just go straight to finding out what they need help with and just totally bypass the webinar and get them scheduled for a call. So you can see here, in a world where conversations equal sales, you have more opportunities to have conversations using this funnel for the exact same cost that you would using your regular webinar funnel. Now, here's the other beautiful part about this system is that if you're doing the old funnel, if you're doing this traditional funnel, and let's say you're wanting to do an evergreen webinar, you have to get some software, you have to set it up, you have to go through and connect all of these things, integrate all these things together. It's really difficult. You need to write a webinar, create slides, all of these different things. Like, that is the main workhorse. They have to go through this webinar to get on the call. It needs to crush. But when you go to our webinar, or when you go to our funnel, you can get this thing started so much more quickly. You don't need a big fancy webinar. You don't need that software. You could quite literally just create a landing page and embed a YouTube link for a video in there. And a lot of times we're doing face-to-face video like I'm doing here instead of doing full blown out webinars, because the real magic of this, it's not the webinar. The webinar is the bait that gets them to click and come into ManyChat, right? And hopefully opt in, but it's not, if they watch it or they don't, it's not that big a deal. Of course, the people that watch the webinar and schedule are going to be easy to sell. Of course, the people that watch the webinar are going to be easier to get on the phone, but you have so many more opportunities now. It just becomes this numbers game. And through these conversations on ManyChat, you can get more calls booked than ever. And it's something that you can outsource, right? Once you get the hang of having these conversations, you can hire a VA or a stay-at-home mom, or take one of your clients that really loves you to go in there and have those conversations for you and book the calls, and just totally take that process off your plate. So real quick, I want to take you over here to Ads Manager. This is one of my clients. We're looking at the metrics for this particular funnel just so far this month, right? So 5 days, November 1st to 5th. So really just about 4 days. You can see here, he's spent about 672 pounds, but let me show you kind of what's going on here. We're going to start with the registrations. Okay. So if you go back here, you can see where complete registration, that standard event is for Facebook. Okay. This is after they opt in. It's actually on the webinar page. So maybe it's better if I put it here. It's on the webinar page. So that means a complete registration means somebody, they saw the ad, got in a ManyChat, entered their email, and then when they entered their email, we send them a message, they click on it, and they go to the page that has the video. Okay. So when you see complete registration, that means they're watching the video. All right. And you can see here, it's about 10 pounds for somebody to watch the video so far this month. And remember what I said, like 10 pounds, that's a really good cost for a webinar registration in the old funnel. So getting somebody to see the Facebook ad, hit the landing page, and opt in, but not necessarily watch the webinar, that's usually going to be about 10 pounds. Here, we're spending 10 pounds to get somebody to actually watch the video. So that's already better using this funnel than the traditional webinar funnel. But remember, you don't have to worry about that drop off. We've only had 66 people that have registered for the video, which means they've clicked and they've opted in and all of that kind of stuff. But we've got over 1,000 clicks here for under £1 each. Okay. And this 1,000 people, not all of them are going to end up inside of Messenger and doing it. They might close out before it's loading or not engage. You have to click this get started button before you're technically a Messenger subscriber. But let's say it's even 50%, right? That means that there's 500 people for about $1.50 that are going in to Messenger. So even in these 66 people that are watching the video, that even beyond those, you have 500 plus opportunities to go in and have a conversation with somebody and get people scheduled. And you're going to see here the appointments scheduled and the application submitted. These are just through the ad. All right. Our clients, in this client in particular, when he goes through and people opt in, he's doing this Messenger follow-up, or his team's doing this Messenger follow-up, and they're booking calls, and they're booking a lot more calls than what you're seeing here. So that kind of takes us to the next point, right? So in this funnel, you see through the Messenger follow-up or via the webinar page or email follow-up, we're trying to get somebody to book a call, trying to get them to schedule a call to learn more about the high ticket product. And then once that call is scheduled, once they've scheduled it, there's an application. All right. And that application's on the next page. And it's basically a survey that helps them filter the kind of people to make sure they're getting the right people. So it has a lot of different questions. But depending on if it's you're selling to a consumer or you're selling to other businesses, you might ask like, what is their household income, or versus like how much revenue is their business bringing in. So you might find out questions like that. You might find out some questions about their goals, what their biggest struggles are, how eager they are to solve that problem. Sliding scale, you can put whatever you want, but that application is going to be extra information. And we're really trying to get as many of these as possible because we know they're going to be easier to sell. And then we have the thank you page where it's got these event codes. So we know complete registration means they watched the webinar. Appointment scheduled means afterward, they went in either through Messenger or they went in through the webinar to follow up or directly in Messenger and they scheduled a call. And so we've got the event code on the page after the scheduler because if they hit that page, the event code fires and we know the appointment got scheduled. And then if they fill out that application, they hit the thank you page, we have application submitted. So we can go in here and see not only did we have all these people watching the video, we've had 9 appointments scheduled so far, right? In the first 4, almost, we're early in the day. So 5 days of this month. Now, I know for a fact that he's already sold 3 of these programs. Okay. And they're 6,800 pounds each. So if you think about that, that's about 20,000 pounds off of 600 ad spend. And we're 4 days into the month, right? And then he's got 6 other appointments scheduled, right? And he's had all these applications. So you can see how this can add up, how he's doing 100, 150 pounds per month and an upward, from selling these programs. All right. So you can see here, cost to schedule an appointment, 74 pounds. If we can do if you're at 100 to schedule a call, that's fantastic, right? That's a normal KPI. He's below that, right? You see the application, we're getting people to fill out the applications for about 130. Our goal, we really just want to get about 7 applications a week or 6 to 7 a week, right? About 1 a day. We're beating that so far, right? We're doing really well. And that means at 150 per day budget, we're actually willing to pay more than 150 pounds to get an application submitted. So you can see here just from the numbers, this is more cost effective. But because of this whole messenger thing, we have this opportunity for more conversations and we're actually getting more sales calls than ever before. And now we have people both on the email list and in ManyChat that we can remarket to and send downsell offers or promote the same offer, whatever we want to do, again, down the road. Now, let's quickly talk about the 2 key components that you have to build to run this funnel. Okay. The first is you got to build the funnel itself, where you're housing the webinar and the scheduler and the application and all of that kind of stuff. I'm going to show you that inside of Clickfunnels. And then I'm going to take you into ManyChat and show you what growth tool you need to use to actually be able to run the ads into ManyChat like this. Because there's a specific one that you want to use that it's not the one most people would use. All right. It's a little different. So I want to show you this trick that's going to allow this whole thing to work. All right. So first, we're going to go into Clickfunnels. I'm a big fan of Clickfunnels. It's what we use at the agency. I highly recommend it to people. We've got a Clickfunnels trailer or a Clickfunnels, breakdown, like showing you how to use it. If you want to check that out in the description of this video. And in here, we've got a really simple funnel. We've got our webinar content page, which is quite literally just the video and the button. That's like, do you want more help? Click here, right? And so if you go here into the funnel, this page right here is the webinar page. It just has the video embedded with a button that takes them to the scheduler. So if we go back, now you're going to see the booking page. It's the scheduler. We just have schedule once embedded onto that page. And then as soon as they actually schedule and submit, we have a redirect set up in schedule once that takes them to this application page. And the application page is very simple. We're using a Wufoo form and we're embedding it down into another page here in Clickfunnels. And then once they finish this Wufoo form, we have a redirect in Wufoo that just takes them to a simple thank you page. It can just say, thank you, we'll contact you soon. What I would highly recommend doing on your thank you page is putting a video, letting people know about what next steps are, and then put tons of testimonials and social proof in there. That's going to be the best way to do it. Now, you're probably wondering, like, why are we using Clickfunnels? Why don't we just have, the content page sends them the link, sends them to schedule once, like to the simple booking page, and then schedule once sends them to Wufoo and all that kind of stuff. We want to track our analytics. So you saw all of those things that we had in Ads Manager. We wanted to see those numbers. So we put it in ClickFunnels to make it easier. And we just put the event codes on the different pages. So we've got complete registration here on the content page. So we know if somebody's seen that, they've actually opted in, entered their email, and now they're watching the video. Over here on the application page, we put the call scheduled event code, which means we know that they hit the booking page and scheduled a call. And then on the thank you page, we put application submitted. We know that they've filled out and submitted the Woohoo form. So we get really accurate tracking. All right, so now I want to take you over to ManyChat. This is what we use for the messenger part. And this is key because you got to use the correct growth tool in order to get these kind of results with your Facebook ads. So this is just like an example account. I want to show you how to do this inside of ManyChat. So if you go here to the left sidebar and you click growth tools, that is the thing that makes it all work. And if you go to this blue button, you can choose a new growth tool. And there are so many options here for what you can do for growth tools. Now, what most people are going to do is they're going to choose this JSON code version, which is you basically, it's the native one inside of Facebook. So if you were creating Facebook Messenger ads inside of Facebook, which you can do, but that's not what I want you to do. It's similar to this. You would basically create everything in here, and then you would copy the code and you would put the code in Messenger, and it would make all that magic happen. We're going to do something a little different. We're going to use this Messenger URL. Okay. And it's really important to use this one. When you do a Messenger URL, it's actually going to have a message, and then it's going to create a link like this. And if you copy that link and you give it to anybody and they click on that link, it's automatically going to pull up Facebook Messenger and send them the automated message. Okay. It's a really efficient way to do it. You can embed this link in a button. You can hyperlink it in an email. You can just send it to people. You can do all kinds of things with it. We are actually going to use it as the destination URL in our ads. But there's one little tweak that you're going to have to do. Before we get into that, what you're going to do here is you're going to have your opt-in message. You're going to say edit. All right. It's going to look like this, or you might have the basic builder that looks like this. Either one, Flow Builder or the basic one, it doesn't matter. You're going to have your message where you're going to ask them to enter your email, right? You're going to say, please, enter your email and we will send you the video. Boom. Okay. And then I want to use, where is it? User input. So I'm actually going to take this information. I'm going to put it here. I'm going to delete this one. All right. So that's our initial message. And you're going to have free keyboard input. Now we want it to be an email, and you're going to go ahead, set all this up to collect their email. So they can type their email, or they can type their email, or a button's going to pop up. It's going to look like a little bubble like this, and it'll have their email pulled from Facebook. Now you can choose what you want to do here, right? This is where you can add tags. You can trigger a zap. Okay. So Zapier, this is how we're connecting it to their email software. So that once they enter this information, it's going to go to ActiveCampaign or ConvertKit or whatever it is that you use. So once you set up your welcome message and you're collecting their email using the Zap or whatever, you want to have the message that's going to send to them as soon as they opt in. All right. And the opt in, the one you're going to use, you're just going to use text. You're going to say, like, hey, here's your video. And then you're going to add a button. You're going to say, click to watch video, or whatever it may be. You're done. You send them wherever, that's going to be a website link. And this is where you're going to put the URL for this webinar content page in your funnel, right? So you're going to grab your URL at the top, and you're going to drop it in here. Boom, you're good to go. So once you've created this whole thing, you're just going to go back to the start here. You're going to click setup, and it's going to give you this nice little link. All right. You need this to be the destination link in your ads, but Facebook will not let you use this URL as the link in your ads. So you need to go over to bit.ly.com like this, and you're going to drop your link there in the search bar, and you're going to click shorten, and it's going to shoot out this masked shortened link. You're going to copy that, and that is going to be what you're going to put in the destination link for your ads. That's what you're going to send them to. All right. Now, one last note about your ads. I didn't mention this. You can see here our process. They see an ad, they go into Messenger, they opt in, they hit the webinar page, and we've got this complete registration event on the page. you need to choose the conversion campaign objective for your ads. All right. This is the most common, Facebook ad campaign that we use. If you want to know more about how to do conversion campaigns, check out my tutorial in the description. But this is the one you need to use. And the only difference is instead of using a link to a landing page, we're sending that messenger link we've masked on Bitly. And then you're going to optimize for complete registration. You're going to optimize for people to hit this page, and it's going to work really well. So don't use messenger ads, use conversion campaigns. So you've got all this in place. You know how to use the funnel. You know how to build it. Start putting all the pieces together. It might seem complicated, but this is the most effective way that I've seen this entire year. And honestly, one of the most effective ways I've ever seen for building a funnel that's going to allow you to get calls for a high ticket product. So if that's how you run your business, if that's how you're wanting to grow your business, start implementing this, start testing it. The biggest obstacle that you're going to run into, which is something you'll figure out very quickly, is how do you have these messenger conversations? How do you follow up with people? How do you engage them and get them to respond to you and get them onto the call? And it's just having conversations. Ask open-ended questions. People are going to be more likely to respond to open-ended questions, and then find some information, dig a little bit, find out about the pain that they might have, like what is it that they're struggling with? And then the easy transition is, hey, I think I could help you with this. Would you like to hop on a call for 15 minutes and I can give you some strategies to overcome XYZ? Boom, you're in business. They're on the call. You're able to sell them your product. All right, so now you know how to build our high ticket 6-figure per month funnel. And you're probably asking, Mike, what do I do now? Like, what are my next steps? And I think you probably fall into one of three categories. So the first category is you're ready to run Facebook ads. You've got your high ticket product. You need to get rolling. Go ahead. Just take everything you learned here, watch it again, start implementing. Seriously, just go do it. Go try it out. You'll be amazed at how well this works. But if you're not there yet, it means you either don't quite have the money to run the ads yet, or maybe you don't have that high ticket product. So I've got something to help you, whichever category you fall in. So if you don't have the advertising budget yet, I want you to watch this video on 7 proven ways to get clients. Go through that. Every single one of the methods is free, and you can start using those to earn a little money so you can create this funnel. Now, if you have the other problem, which is you don't have the product yet, watch this video on how to create your product in 7 days. It's going to show you how to outline it, create it very quickly so you can start making money. And that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching the Laptop Empire Show. Please subscribe, share with your friends. We'll see you next week.